Irene sees a nun praying in Latin and a body covered nearby. She removes the cover and finds Sister Ona inside. Suddenly all the nuns come there and start praying. Irene also starts praying. Suddenly an invisible force throws the nuns towards the wall, and Christ's head is removed from the cross. Evil forces make a star on Irene's back. Irene hears her name called by Father Burke. She opens the door and tells him about the nuns praying to hold back the evil. But suddenly the nuns disappear, except for the body covered by a white cloth. It turns out Irene is having one of her visions. She removes the cover from the body and sees Sister Ona. Irene and Burke realize that no one is left alive at the abbey, and it is under the influence of evil. Suddenly, the nun attacks Burke. Burke puts his cross in the face of the nun, and it starts to burn. Frenchie knocks her out using a slug. Sister Victoria sacrificed her life, so that evil couldn't use her as a vessel, and release itself into the living world. Irene plans to seal the gateway, to prevent the evil from leaking, using the relic containing the blood of Christ. Irene takes her final vow to become a full-time nun. Frenchie prepares his shotgun. Irene locates the location of the relic. Using the word from her vision, Mary points the way. They unlock the door and enter the region where God ceases to exist. They go separate ways to look for the gateway. Irene is followed by a nun with no face. She enters through a door and accidentally stands in a place designated for conducting dark magic. She then sees a group of masked nuns. Meanwhile, Burke is followed by a group of faceless nuns. He spills oil and burns a cross on the ground to keep the evil from crossing. Frenchie finds the group of nuns and hears Irene calling his name. He then finds her in an unusual pose. Seeing her, he starts praying and removes the cover from her face. Irene throws him onto a pillar. She is now possessed by the demon Valak. Irene starts to confront him. Frenchie takes some blood from the relic and rubs it on her face. As soon as the blood of Christ touches Irene, Valak comes out of her. Valak gets hold of Frenchie and throws Irene into a nearby water pool. Meanwhile, Burke is attacked by Daniel and his snakes. They bite him in the eye. Valak rises from the water and stands on it, then comes after Irene. Irene is about to drown. Father Burke starts praying, but Valak throws him away. Meanwhile, Irene drinks the blood of Christ. Thinking she is dead, Valak pulls her above water. Suddenly, Irene spits the blood of Christ on Valak's face. As soon as it hits, Valak starts decaying, and the whole thing, including Valak, starts falling into the hole and is cast away to hell. Frenchie rescues Irene. The water from the pool starts falling into the hole, and the gateway is sealed afterward. They give the deceased nuns a proper burial, and prepare for their journey back. Suddenly, we see an upside-down cross appearing on Frenchie's neck. We then see a scene of Ed and Lorraine Warren investigating a demonic possession of a man named Frenchie. We also see how Valak is able to possess him. Similarly to before, an upside-down cross appeared on Frenchie's body years later.